Hello, my name is Andy, and this is my review of Halo Infinite.
You have one bullet against an entire army.
It's enough.
So my video game history is, I started in the late 80s. The first video game system I ever remember having was my parents' 2600 Atari, wood paneling, and then getting the Nintendo for Christmas as a young lad. And then PlayStation came out, had to have it. PlayStation, from PlayStation to PlayStation 2, and then in college, the Xbox, and I've been an Xbox guy ever since. All right, so my Halo history is this. It started off, I'll never forget this kid named Matt Oswald. He was in my dorm room. He was the first one to get an Xbox the day it came out, and he got Halo. So a bunch of us went over to his room to play it, and I think we referred to it as digital crack. And like, he just didn't care. Like, he loved video games, but he loved watching people play video games too. So Brandon and I just sat there on the original Halo and just played that game from start to finish. My favorite fact about was it the first Halo? If you beat it on was it Legendary, the hardest mode, Legendary, the end cutscene, Master Chief actually grabs the alien's ass. I swear to God, do it. If you have an original. I don't know if they edited it out in the Master Chief collection or not, but in the original Halo, he just like reaches out and grabs the alien's butt. It's really funny. Halo 2, I was actually in the Navy when that came out, and I was lucky enough to get shore duty, so I played a lot of that. The gameplay was fantastic. When they brought in the dual wield, which was huge, everyone was going nuts over that. The stories of Halo have always been fantastic, and they're extremely linear. Like where one ended off, 2 picked right back up. Me and my 3 other roommates at the time, we were all about like the Halo Online. And I always liked Halo 2's leveling system the best, because you could de-level if you played bad. Like if you were not good, you wouldn't get up to higher levels, so therefore you kind of still play with people in your range, in your skill set. Halo 3, what sticks out in my mind for Halo 3 was like the opening when he goes to blow up the ship. That was the first one for 360. So those graphics were like DVD quality at the time, which was huge. So it looked extremely real to us. Like, this is amazing. Like, this is the greatest thing. That opening scene when they open up the bay doors and he grabs it and just blows up the Covenant ship was amazing. Multiplayer, it was good. I think they still kept the dual wield in 3, which was huge for everybody. But you couldn't do like 2. You could almost dual wield anything. Whereas 3, they took a lot of the complaints from the community, and then you only allowed to dual wield certain weapons. I wasn't impressed with 4. The story was there, but like I think I was feeling like it was getting stale. But that's when I went to 343. And like 4, they were like, I was like, oh, this is gonna be great, and then I wasn't. It didn't do it for me. I still play. Like, I'm a fan. Like, I'll always play Halo. 4 wasn't like really impressed with. I did play the multiplayer a lot, just because a lot of my friends still played the multiplayer, and at that time we were all spread out over the country, and we could always just still get together and play. So it was like a community thing at that point for me. 5 got a lot of hate for some reason, like from a lot of people. A lot of my friends hated on it. I loved it. I liked how you saw Cortana like finally devolving, and like now he's got to make this choice. All right, do I try to save? And like you've grown attached to these. Like I grew attached to the characters. I think that's where 343 finally understood. Like, okay, we have a loyal gaming base on this. Like, people are going to play this. It hit you in the feels. It really did. Like, I was stoked for Infinite, and I was really excited. You know, I was one of the lucky ones, I guess, to get Series X on launch day because of spamming that pre-order button. And it was really sad. Like, it was billed as gonna be a launch game. I was like, oh my god. Like, and then they're like, you have to wait. Like, I have to wait a year. And I'm like, of course I do. Of course I have to wait a year for this game. I was really, really excited. So then I read it was gonna be like open world, and I was iffy because I'm like, oh, it's always been kind of like, it's a first-person shooter, but it's one of the only first-person shooters that it's longer than most. I was like, what's Call of Duty's game time? Like 6 hours? Yeah. Whereas this, you're looking at like 8 to 16. So I was actually, funny story, I totally forgot it came out. I read about it, but there wasn't as much pomp and circumstance around this title, which was really scary, which made me feel real scared about this title. You have a franchise. This is Xbox's franchise. Every major game manufacturer has a franchise. Microsoft and Xbox, that's Master Chief, man. I mean, so if they knew if you're going to piss off an entire fan base and they're going to be mad about it, I would totally go over my game and make sure it's up to snuff. And that was the smartest thing for them to do, I think. It sucked, not gonna lie. I really wanted to play that day one, but the product they gave me was fantastic. So when I finally realized it came out, came home, turned on my Xbox, and boom, I was like, okay, let's do this. Opening cutscene, fantastic. I was like, all right. And I started playing. I was like, the first mission, I was like, I don't know what they do. Like, now I'm gonna like run around and go capture operating bases, and by the second mission, I'm like, yo, I'm in. I'm like, this is fantastic. I was like, the grappling was fantastic. I mean, like the weapon, the AI system, that was that was amazing. I really got into it, and then I really got into doing the side missions. Like, I was really going to do forwarding operating bases, because I mean, I think everyone, like, a big thing in the last couple of Halos was running out of bullets and trying to figure out what kind of guns you wanted to use. And when you capture these forward operating bases and you do these side missions, you get better weapons. You can go up there and choose which ones you want. You can come back. So I mean, I was really into it. I was like, this is awesome. My only issue is when you're getting towards the end, I wanted to go back and do more side missions. And once you get to the last final couple missions, then it goes back to like old school Halo, where you're like, boom, boom, boom. Like, you're not going back. I beat it on the standard mode. I'm gonna go back and beat it again. I was actually talking about it last night with a buddy of mine, because it's a completely story-driven game, and I care about the story. Now I want to go play it a little bit harder. Everything about being scared about the open world, I mean, I was put at ease. I thought it was really good, but I was really happy. Just driving around, you can like getting a ghost or just tooling around the ring. Fantastic. I use the grappling hook more than any other thing, any other little side weapon he has. My overall impressions of Halo Infinite: loved the game, amazing. It's definitely top 3 for me. My top 3 Halo game, obviously, like Halo 1, it's always gonna have a special place in my heart, because that's what started it all. And honestly, there's something to be said about just plugging 4 controllers in, sitting with your buddies in Rocket Arena and just shooting each other with a rocket. And then you could, instead of talking smack to them over a headphone, you could turn around and be like, yeah, go fuck yourself. I can't believe you just blew me up. Or, as me and my friends tend to do, have a couple sodas and then we hit each other in the face. 2 is 2. Halo 2. I loved Halo 2. The fact that bringing the dual wielding in was huge. I loved the I think the SMG might have been my favorite gun for close range in that in all of the Halos, actually. And then Infinite is gonna be number 3. Great gameplay, awesome story. And so the multiplayer in Halo Infinite, I brought it up because that's obviously what a lot of people are playing it. So I think it's fantastic. Dedicated servers, awesome. I mean, go on, hit multiplayer, go to the game mode that you want, click it, 3, 2, 1, and then in the next 60 to 90 seconds, you're in a match, and it's awesome. Loads. The maps. I mean, the maps. I could use some more maps. I know they're gonna give us more maps, so that's good. I mean, the big team if you play a big team battle, it's a very large map, but you are still running into people. You're not just running across a map. And my only issue, no dual wield. I really wish they brought that in there. But other than that, the making is good. You're not playing against like people well above your skill set, and it's good. Now, how would I rank it towards other ones? I would probably put that top 5. My final thoughts on Halo Infinite. So I was sad to read. They stated this has always been like a launch title for a launch title for Xbox. I was sad to read that this is, they said they don't expect Infinite 2. They're gonna do like a Destiny style, put more missions in, and if they're gonna. And at first, when I read that, I kind of read that earlier in the week, and I was kind of like a little disappointed. But they could really do what I want to see out of this is I want to see you put more missions, story. Give us. I know we got a lot of backstory on John. Kind of got a backstory on the new AI, like pretty decently, but you could go pretty deep into her. And you know what? Like you could probably learn more about the Flood and the Banished. I mean, I meant to read it before this, and I didn't. There was an article somebody actually sent me about the Grunts, and I should have read it because I could have talked about it and how like their backstory is apparently really sad. Apparently, the Grunts have a sad backstory, and like you shouldn't beat them with your rifle. Please don't do a battle royale. I don't know. No one wants. I don't want to see it. That's the only thing I don't want to see out of that is a battle royale mode. All right. So would I buy, try, or skip this one? I would definitely buy it. 100% buy it. Multiplayer, as of right now, I would try it. Not enough maps. If you're playing like just capture the flag or regular like Team Slayer, I think it's like 3. You get like 3 maps. It's not Papi Munino, I guess, as the kids would say on the TikTok. Thanks for watching my video here on 4-player LAN party. If you like it, disagree, agree. It's the internet. There's a lot of trolls. Drop a comment, drop a like, drop a share. Come at me, bro. You know what? And thanks for watching the video on 4-player LAN party. Make sure you subscribe. Peace.